Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? It's John Nolan here, my fellow freedom lovers. It's good to see you all. We're on the road in the truck here, and just wanted to come on and share something that I think might be a some good guidance. Just something that you can use for your daily life, something that might improve your ability to discern information, and most importantly, your ability to thrive, because this is really what all of this is really about. I'm just waiting for a few people to jump on here. If YouTube is kind enough to distribute this and let people know that we're live, that would be awesome. To our YouTube partners, thank you so much. Thank you all for jumping on. This is when you put something up like the image that we put up here about the moon landing, when you look these things up and when you say these are fake events or fake historic events, and frankly, to say fake historic events, you could say fake history, right? A lot of people are actually saying all of our history is fake, and the more I know, the more I know. So the more I know, the more I don't know, really. But the more I research, I figure out a lot of these things are either completely different or never even happened. And outside of lived memory, that's even harder. I mean, look at events like 9/11, for example. That was that was a big event. Modern technology, right? A lot of people, there were no cell phone cameras, but other than that, it was modern technology, and still it appears to be a completely different event than what we've seen. But there's a point to all of this. You could go back. I mean, the moon landing is a great example. Did it happen the way they said it happened? No, the people who were involved, the astronauts, say it didn't happen. They said, well, Buzz Aldrin came on many times, said, well, this is the perception the public had. You didn't see the moon landing. But yet, people that watched it, did you feel it? People that watched it later, did you feel it? Did you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride? Did you feel the excitement about this whole thing? Yes, you did. So we have to become much more careful, because the feelings and then the stories we build around this are real, right? So we build our stories on perceptions. And the thing is that these perceptions can be very wrong. They can be very distorted or very far away from the actual truth. And the farther one moves away from the truth, the more complicated life becomes. And if we look at our own lives, what are the stories and beliefs that we build our lives on and we think are true, and hence we base our principles on, or we base our decisions on? But if we went back, we would see those are just perceptions. Things didn't really happen that way. So our own beliefs are much like this fake history, because we are so 100% invested in those beliefs, because we think, we might have one experience, and then based on that one experience, we created a belief, and we said, well, that's the way it is. But with some distance, with some life experience, it's important to go and re-examine those beliefs. We do that a lot. Re-examine what we think about things and where that information came from, and who benefits from us believing that. That's also very important. Who benefits? A lot of our beliefs are not for our own benefit. They're benefiting entities who want to control us. I mean, this is very, very obvious. So when we do the research in the outside world and we look at the moon landing, we look at 9/11, we look at JFK, and we look at all the things in between. I mean, there's a million examples of fake history. We also must look within, and I would even suggest to first look within, to first go within, to find that place of truth and authenticity in your soul that lets you in on the truth, because it's your soul that will help you to discern. But when you do that, you might find yourself not just realizing outside events were fake, but things you believe are fake too, or not true, or partially true. And then comes the real work. Are we all willing to re-examine and change our beliefs? Are we all willing to come to new understandings, inner standings, and then build our lives around something that's authentic and true. And that's why when people come out and they, they'll get very angry when you question, or when something triggers people's belief system, like the moon landing or like other stories, especially if there's some personal connection to that event. They'll get angry and mad and hateful. How dare you question this? How dare you say this is not true? How dare you? And I'm saying, well, if we don't do that, we will never move forward. We will never truly create the place and the world and the way of life that we truly deserve and want and who we really are. It'll only happen when we go there. And the truth is, if you don't get triggered, if your belief systems aren't challenged, if you don't sometimes feel like I'm in your face with the things I'm saying on this channel, right? Or we're saying on this channel, then we're probably not doing anything worthwhile. It has to be challenging. If you truly want to move into a new direction, and we all want to, we have to challenge ourselves. We have to get uncomfortable. We have to realize that we might have been living lies in certain ways. That's okay, as long as we realize it and change it, right? And so, there's as soon as we go into some very big questions, there's always a lot of hate. And I understand that, because it's simply a belief system is challenged. And it's harder the older you get in life. It's harder to do because you've built so much of your life on that, based on that, right? You might have raised your children based on that. So there's a good story that portrays it perfectly. I don't want to go too long, but this is an important story, and it was told by Gregg Braden, who I believe in many ways is a great scientist, great spiritualist, great guy. I don't agree with him on everything, but I don't have to either. But he told this story. He said, now, beyond the shadow of a doubt, we can prove that evolution, the way we believed, or Darwin's evolution was taught, beyond the shadow of a doubt, is disproven. Evolution didn't happen that way. As a matter of fact, we now have, and this is Greg speaking, we now have evidence that 200,000 years ago, give or take, there was a genetic alteration in the human being, in mankind, that all of a sudden gave us higher faculties and consciousness and all these things. It happened about 200,000 years ago, and there's no other explanation because it happened in an instant. We were changed genetically in an instant. Now that does not speak for the evolutional process, that speaks for intervention, right? And so he talked about this with a professor friend of his that teaches evolution at Harvard and teaches evolutional sciences. And so he said, we now have proof that Darwin's evolution theory is not right. And that professor listened because they were good friends, and he said, well, I believe you, but here's the thing. I've been teaching evolution for so many years, I'd have to change everything. I'd have to change all the books, all the curriculums, everything. And Greg said, hold on a minute. First of all, you don't have to change all the books. It's all digital now anyways. And second of all, are you telling me that because it's an inconvenience to change your teachings, change your curriculum, that you're not going to tell the truth? And he said, can you imagine how much upheaval this would cause in the whole community, in the scientific community, and in the teaching community, and the board, and everyone? It is just not possible to make that change. And in my understanding, they parted ways afterwards, because I think those were two completely different worldviews. The one worldview was, it is more important to not rock the boat. It's more important to go with the party line, even if the party line is a lie, than to actually seek truth. And we are on the truth-seeking side, so I don't give a shit what the party line is. If I'm the only person, if we're the only two people, Christina and I, standing there and going towards the truth while everyone else is walking in a different direction, I couldn't care less. We've been doing this for many years, and we will continue to do it. And the truth is, and this is something that I can tell you guys, and I can speak to you openly because you are not part of that group, but David Icke said it beautifully. He said, historically speaking, the majority is always wrong. The majority runs with the crowd. The majority doesn't think for itself. And unfortunately, this is still true, although a lot more people are beginning to think for themselves. But this is our time. We need to examine everything, especially on the inside, especially what drives us, our beliefs, our feelings. Sometimes people say, well, I go by a feeling. I feel this is wrong. This is not. Oh, thank you so much. A silent cash cow. Thank you. Appreciate it. People say, well, I feel this is wrong, or I feel this is not good for me. But you have two sets of feelings. You have the body feeling, which is a programmed feeling, which is based on body chemistry, and that's a habitual thing. And that can be very deceiving because the body just craves what it knows, so it'll give you habitual feelings, habitual chemical impulses, and then you go on those chemical impulses. It's like people that, are very obese but say, oh, it just feels good to have another burger, feels good to have another pizza. No, that doesn't feel good. That's a habitual chemical signal from your body. That's not what I'm talking about. Intuition, true soul intuition, that's the real feeling. That's the guidance system. It has nothing to do with chemical signals from your body. As a matter of fact, it oftentimes contradicts the chemical signals of your body, the habitual signals. So even our feelings can mislead us and guide us in the wrong way if they come from fear, from a chemical standpoint of the body. If our feelings are the true intuitive feelings that come from deep within, from a soul level, well, then you're on the right track. We need to learn that again, all of us. So, when this triggers people, historic events that are fake, go within. Listen, watch, research with your soul. Go deep within and do it for yourself first and foremost. Because when you get authentic, when you get aligned, when you get in line with this soul feeling of yours again, your life will begin to change very, very positively and quickly too. So that's kind of our thoughts for this morning. We just wanted to share and let you guys know that it is important. We all need to be truth seekers. Forget the whole conspiracy theorist. That's out the window. There are no theories here. There are true conspiracies. That's not a joke. That's happening every day. The question is, are we truth seekers enough? And are we willing to get uncomfortable enough to get to the truth? That's it. All right, Inspired Tribe. Thank you so much for joining us, for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll be back with you again very, very soon. We'll share some of the conversations we have here with our friend Mark, who's our teacher, who teaches us the original Indian ways, the American Indian culture, his traditions, his wisdom, his medicine. We'll share that with you soon. We love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.